It was a Tuesday, or maybe it was Wednesday. Honestly, days have started blending into one another like a Netflix series that refuses to end. I was walking through the mall, headphones in, trying to convince myself that buying yet another overpriced gadget would somehow fix my life. And then I noticed it, a line, a ridiculous line outside a store that had just released the latest, greatest, whatever. People were shoving, bumping into each other, some even arguing over which version was better. I stood there for a moment, sipping my coffee like an old philosopher judging the chaos, and I thought, what the hell are we doing? Why are we here? And then it hit me. Every day, all of us, yes, even you, are doing this exact thing. Hundreds of choices we think we make independently. Which app to open first, which brand to buy, who to trust, how to spend our time scrolling instead of living. And yet most of these choices, not ours, not really. There's a puppeteer behind the curtain, and most of the time, we don't even realize we're dancing to their rhythm. Niccolo Machiavelli saw this centuries ago, 500 years ago. This man was already calling out humanity's blind spots. The vulgar crowd is always taken by appearances, he wrote, not because he hated people, not because he was some emo misanthrope. He just observed that most people are hypnotized by the surface, fooled by the glitter, never digging deeper to see reality. And guess what? The world hasn't changed that much. The tools just got flashier. Welcome to the modern stage where corporations, politicians, social media, and even the people in your life are secretly or not secretly pulling strings, making choices feel like yours while really serving someone else's agenda. And here's the thing, manipulation isn't always evil. Sometimes it's just strategic. Let me show you how. Let's walk through a few examples, and trust me, I'll put you in the shoes of the guy realizing he's being played. 1, the illusion of choice. You think you're free, right? I can pick anything I want. They whisper. You feel autonomous. But it's all fake. The options are carefully curated so that no matter what you choose, the outcome serves them. Example, subscription plans, basic, premium, deluxe. You pick, you feel powerful, you pat yourself on the back. Meanwhile, all 3 choices lock you into their ecosystem and drain your wallet. Congratulations, you exercised your free will perfectly, just the way they planned it. Politics works the same way, left versus right, blue versus red, debates on hot buck issues. And yet, on the stuff that actually matters to the elites, they agree. Your vote feels like freedom, but power structures remain untouched. You think you're making a choice. You're really just picking a flavor while they run the factory. Even in relationships, people do this. Do you want to hang out Friday or Saturday? They ask. You feel like you're choosing, but the real choice is, do you even want to spend time with them at all? By controlling the options, they control you without seeming controlling. Sneaky, right? 2, manufactured urgency. Ever notice how every sale feels like the world will end if you don't buy it now? Limited time offer, only 3 left in stock. Countdown timers. Your brain immediately switches to panic mode. Rational thinking, gone. Emotional hijack, full throttle. News media does it too. Breaking news, crisis, apocalypse incoming. Suddenly you're glued to your phone, obsessing over problems that, let's be honest, will not affect your life directly. Social media, someone might see this before you do. You have to click now. The FOMO, the urgency, it's all engineered to hijack your brain. Fear makes decisions fast. Humans respond to immediate threats better than rational analysis. And manipulators, they know it. 3, social proof engineering. Ever bought something because everyone else seemed to love it? Social proof. Hundreds of 5-star reviews, trending on Instagram, thousands of likes. You think, well, everyone else loves it, I guess I will too. But most of that, manufactured, paid, bots, algorithm hacks. You're following the crowd into a trap designed by someone else. Restaurants do it. Lines out the door must be good. Even if the food is mediocre, we wait. Snap a pic. Posts online. Social validation feeds the machine. Machiavelli would smile. Humans follow appearances because appearances feel like reality. 4, emotional anchoring. First impressions matter more than you think. Advertisers know this. The first image, the first feeling, the first headline, they stick. Car commercial, a shiny car on a tropical beach with a model that looks like they stepped out of a movie. You don't remember the MPG or the safety rating. You remember that feeling. Emotional anchors warp how you perceive everything that follows. Politics does the same thing. They anchor your emotions positively for their candidate, negatively for the opponent. Dating, love bombing at the start creates an anchor that excuses red flags later. Emotional hijacking, 101, 5, authority borrowing. Trust me, I'm famous. Sounds familiar, right? Celebrity endorsements, academic credentials used out of context, fancy titles and marketing materials. They give credibility to something they might not understand at all. You trust because of the aura of authority, not actual expertise. And that trust, exploited strategically. 6, reciprocity weaponization. Free samples, complimentary trials, little favors. You feel obliged to reciprocate even when you didn't ask for anything. Human brains hate debt. It triggers a need to repay. Manipulators know this and weaponize it. Personal favors, corporate freebies, carefully calculated, obligation disguised as kindness. 7, cognitive overload. Ever felt exhausted by terms, options, or fine print? Overwhelmed by too much information? That's no accident. Decision fatigue makes you rely on mental shortcuts, emotions, authority, heuristics, contracts, service agreements, endless policies. Once your brain checks out, you're ripe for manipulation. 8, intermittent reinforcement. Social media notifications, likes, random discounts, they work like gambling. You never know when you'll get a reward, so you stay hooked. Positive attention sprinkled unpredictably keeps you addicted, emotionally engaged, and manipulable. Toxic relationships do the same. A little love after constant neglect creates a bond that's almost impossible to break. 9, tribal identity exploitation. Humans crave belonging. Manipulators exploit that. Brands, politics, social media, they make you feel part of a group. Buying a product, voting a certain way. Suddenly it's not just a choice, it's who you are. Loyalty and identity override logic. You defend a brand, a party, a belief, not because it's good, but because it's yours. 10, fear and solution bundling. Look at the crime rate. Protect your home with our alarm system. Fear creates dependence, and manipulators sell the solution immediately. Health, finance, beauty industries do the same. Fear first, then the fix. The problem wasn't urgent until they said it was. 11, complexity masquerading as sophistication. If something is confusing, we assume it's smart. Fancy words, long contracts, technical jargon. They hide motives, risks, and manipulation in plain sight. Humans equate complexity with mastery. Machiavelli knew this. 12, artificial scarcity and exclusivity. Limited edition, exclusive, VIP access only. Scarcity feels like value. The product itself, not always. Humans hate missing out, and manipulators use that. Suddenly, you're competing with strangers for something you didn't even need. 13, strategic vulnerability display. Oddly enough, showing weakness can give power. Public figures admit mistakes. Salespeople confess tiny flaws. Influencers reveal curated struggles. You trust them more, but the vulnerability is strategic, designed to hook you emotionally. Here's the kicker. Once you see these techniques, you notice them everywhere. Ads, news, relationships, politics. It's a web, and we're all walking on strings, pretending we're free. But awareness isn't paranoia, it's power. Machiavelli didn't teach manipulation to make people worse. He taught it to help people survive in a world where manipulation is everywhere. The fox sees the trap. The lion resists when necessary. That's all. You don't become manipulative yourself. You just don't get played anymore. You can choose your own dance.